Do you feel the rumbling? Come on down here with me. If you ever, you got to put your ear all the way to the ground to hear the rumbling of the Tatanka. We got a herd. We got a herd in Buffalo. Take me to Western New York where the Cowboys come in with their shiny helmets. And on the first damn series of the game, boom, boom, boom. Everybody go. Everybody push. That's James Cook in the middle. You know what? Tired, tush push, wired, snowplow. Yeah. That's what they do, baby. Now, I would like a little better if the snowman himself was a little bit, well, he's kind of lagging behind like he's the foreman on the snowplow. Called the snowplow. That is his name. That name again is the snowplow. Look at how many people we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in the middle, unfreeze it. You got a very angry cook. Peter, this is like Carmy getting locked in the fridge on the night they open the restaurant. You got to get, here's your list of angry cooks. You got Gordon Ramsay. You got Ratatouille pulling people's hair. And then you got Casey Ryback punching out everybody on a battleship. And you got James Cook. Now listen, this is the snowplow. Some people, Jamie, don't like the scrum species of angry runs. I like them all. And I love James Cook doing it to the Cowboys. Tone setter, tone setter, tone setter.
All right, that's Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football. Is kind enough to give us a few minutes today to kind of recap a segment where, you know, he often loses his oxygen supply and, you know, sometimes has to go on a respirator after he's done. And this week was no different. But James Cook, the Angry Runs winner, even though you literally could not see him in the footage, but he wins it anyway. And I know you have some dissenting voters on your panel, Kyle, because Jamie Erdahl is staunchly against any group efforts in angry runs.
Yes. First of all, it's great to see you guys. I love you. I miss you. I appreciate the invite. I want you to know, Steve, that before I came on, I had to go into my wife's part of the closet so I could find my Steve Tasker jersey. Listen,
there you go.
My wife, Brooke, has only owned one jersey in her life. It's a Steve Tasker jersey. She's never owned one before. She never wants to own one ever. You gave it to her years ago. Yep. She was thrilled by it. So I wear it around where I live here in suburban New York, and every single person comes up to me and goes, "Oh, Mark Bavaro, that's
right."
Jersey. No. It's Tasker, damn it.
I know.
Yeah, you're in Giants country.
I walk around, I do the same thing. Oh, there's a Mark Bavaro fan. And no, there you go. It's been a weird roller coaster of a year for the Bills, but they do seem to be peaking at the right moment. They're hot. They just beat a white-hot Cowboys team. I don't think that's indicative of how the Cowboys are. I think they're a much better football team than they were able to show in the rainstorm the other night. But the Bills were better, no question about it. And they absolutely bullied a team. It's a time where we saw the Bills win a game in a very different fashion. Josh was just, Josh turned into, name a quarterback who's a manager, He
was just a caretaker.
I know Brownie's a big Ryan Tannehill fan, so I'll throw him out.
Okay. Right. Josh Allen was Ryan Tannehill. It's looks like the Bills are poised, although right now they're in 9th place. They need to get all the way to 7th place if they can. But the Bills are in a good spot.
They're in a great spot. And it's like I said, I think I screamed it 5 times in the clip you played. Tone setter, tone setter, tone setter. It's what brings us here today. It's not a coincidence that angry run was on the first series of the game. It's almost my favorite kind of angry run when they come early. James Cook with the entire offensive line and the snowplow. So I'm going to set it on Good Morning Football, but I want to, I guess in our own world, break some news here today. We decided, the Angry Runs Council, that we will have co-winners this week. It will not only be James Cook, a.k.a. Jimbo Cook, a.k.a. Himbo Cook. It will be Dion Dawkins, the snowman, as well. We are sending 2 Scepters to Western New York. They'll be arriving tomorrow. Homage, the company that does our T-shirts, will put 2 figures on the shirt. It's a rare thing that almost never happens, but I had to give Dion some credit for the branding, for the inspiration. And as I said, we're all a little bit sick of the tush-push, the brotherly shove, whatever. Plus, the Eagles haven't won a game in a damn month. Now, the snowplow is hot, and I said it on the air, guys. They will snowplow through the Chargers. They will snowplow through the Patriots, and they'll do what the hell they have to do in Week 18 against the Dolphins. The only game I was concerned about was the Cowboys game. Once they won that, they're going to the playoffs. And God rest the soul of the division winner who has to potentially welcome the Bills if they get in as a wild card. Can you imagine that?
Right.
You win your division, you get your T-shirt, and you got to welcome Josh and the boys in for your home game? That sucks, but the Bills will be going.
Yeah. Kyle, I bounced this off Steve because I kind of pay attention to the weekly stat updates that come out usually on Tuesdays after the Monday night game. How surprised are you if I told you that James Cook is now second in the league in total yards from scrimmage behind only Tyreek Hill?
Is that true?
Yes.
True.
That's one of these things, Brownie, that you've done this long enough. Sometimes I'm presented with statistics from our research team, and you say them on the air, and you're terrified. You're like, there's no way this is right. There's no way. This kid screwed this up. He hung me out to dry. I'm going to look like a fool. But if you're telling me that is right, it feels like he has 80% of those yards in the last few weeks. And I said this on the air yesterday. I feel like I love Ken Dorsey. And in a lot of ways, I grew up watching him and the Miami team and the rise and everything. You have to make tough decisions in the middle of a season. Everybody likes him as a person. A lot of people liked him as a coordinator. The fact that they did that, it couldn't have been fun. And yet I'm watching this James Cook look like some combination of, Marshawn Lynch and Thurman Thomas the last couple of weeks. He was the best player in that game. He was the best player in the game on either side of the ball, a game that has maybe some future Hall of Famers in it. It was incredible. Looked like a wildly different player. And he's been good, don't get me wrong, but he looked like a superstar. And I give credit to the offense.
Yeah, and it's absolutely the first time we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I want to get your take on it. I said that, in the first quarter and a half or the first half of the Chiefs game 2 weeks ago, and then, of course, the entire game against the Cowboys, it's the first time in 6 years that the Bills' offense, their offensive engine wasn't Josh Allen. It was James Cook. And now you still got Josh sitting there waiting to throw and able to do all the stuff he's able to do. But now they become a real problem to prepare for the Chargers, for the Patriots, for the Dolphins, and whoever else is on the schedule.
Well, listen, I grew up, when you were playing, Steve, I grew up in Chicago. I was watching the Jordan Bulls and the first championship run, the first 3 of the 6. You would have nights when Michael would have 12 points and maybe Scotty was off, but then out of nowhere, Horace Grant had 18 rebounds and 22 points. You're like, this is incredible, and they still won. And that's a luxury because Michael can get 50 points whenever he wants. And Josh Allen could go for 400 total yards whenever he wants. It's exhausting, though, and it's a lot to ask. And frankly, we've seen that for the last few years. It inevitably, you need help. You need super friends. The other teams are too good. So that's why it's so exciting that I just remember, when Elway finally got Terrell Davis, and it's like, whoa, this is a totally different deal and a totally terrifying team. And that was really the end of Elway. He was past his prime, not like Josh. Josh is in his prime, and he's got this running back who looks like a star all of a sudden. And we haven't even had the big Stephon Diggs game in a while. That's coming. It's just, they look great right now. I just hope that the math doesn't kill them. If you do something dumb and you lose one of these next 2 games especially, and then you look at how the hell did we lose that Denver game? How the hell did we lose that New England game? The math is a little scary because they're a great team, but the record's not great. I just love how they're playing. They just beat the bejesus out of the Cowboys team that some thought was top 3 in the league. They didn't even look top 20.
Yeah, and speaking of math, I will correct myself.
Go on.
He is second in the AFC in total yards from scrimmage behind Tyreek.
I knew it, Brownie. They screwed you. I knew it.
Hold on.
No,
That's my fault. Only McCaffrey he's at the top, then it's Tyreek, then it's Cook. So he's third in the NFL in total yards from scrimmage, second in the AFC. But yeah, the Bills are in March Madness mode now, Kyle. It's survive and advance. That's where they're at. They're already playing playoff games for all intents and purposes. I hope you are a soothsayer, and I hope Week 18 is for all the marbles, maybe even for the division. We'll wait and see. But, with bated breath, we will do that. And on that note, we will let you go. We know your time is tight and precious, but thank you for joining us. We appreciate you popping in and saying hey, and we know that Jimbo is happy he's getting a scepter.
Jimbo, Dion, and I got to plug it right now. In about a half an hour, Bills fans, I'm sitting down with James Cook and Dion Dawkins, and we're doing Angry Chats, the ongoing series where the Angry Run winner, or winners in this case, sit down and we just talk about the run and anger and running guys over. I'm doing it in like a half an hour. It'll be out on NFL Plus probably tomorrow. Guys, thank you for having me. I remember coming on this show 6 years ago when a fresh-faced Josh Allen first won Angry Runs for the first time, and Murph and you guys. It's just incredible. So always here for you. You're always here for me. I love you, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and a final PS, Kyle. Ask Dion about his 20-yard block, because there was a run by James down to the 1-yard line, and Dion was right behind him, taking Damone Clark on a 20-yard roller skating ride down to the 1-yard line also, and he pancaked him at the end on the goal line.
Yeah. I was edited on Twitter roughly 50,000 times with that play. I've seen it more times than I've seen my children this week. So I will definitely ask them about that, Brownie. You're all over it as always. Thank you.
Merry Christmas to your family, all right? We'll catch up with you.
You too.